let's get to the game of the season, and it was in the NBA. It was the Nuggets. Woo! Jokic, Ant-Man. Oh, let's pick this one up in the fourth quarter. T-Wolves trailing 106-102. Jokic, count it, step back. That extends the lead to 6. Then after a timeout, look at this. Good. How about that? Ant-Man was on fire in this game. T-Wolves were down just 3. And then Ant-Man attacking the rack, Monica.
This fourth quarter from the Wolves, this comeback, I literally went to go get ready for bed because they was down so big, and then they weren't.
The jumper, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray came up huge as well in this game. Nuggets were back up 4. And then a little talking to Ant-Man.
I need to know what was said here.
Doing what he does best.
What it was is, you're not about to stop me, bro. And this shot, I'm literally on the floor in my robe like, okay, I need to go to sleep, but what's happening right now?
That 3 with 1 second left sends it into overtime. So let's go into overtime now. And it is Anthony Edwards again from 3. T-Wolves take a 124-115 lead. Then 2 minutes left in OT. Jokic, he was 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. He had a monster game. They're up 126-124. Next possession. It is Jamal Murray to Jokic, the float game. We're tied up at 126, Monica, and then it is Murray. Murray had 35 in this one.
Bro, I am like shouting all through my house at this point because what is happening right now?
Less than 30 seconds. Edwards going down the lane, dunks it home, but look, swipes the ball out of Jokic's hand. He gets teed up for that. In fact, Edwards picks up his second technical of the game, so he gets ejected. The Nuggets hold on and win in overtime, 142-138. By the way, Jokic, 56 points, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists. Listen, he's the first player in NBA history with a 15-15-15 in any game, not just on Christmas Day. Also the first player to ever have multiple 55-point triple-doubles. He did so 8 months ago in April. Monster game by him. All right, so we got Monica McNutt. We got Big Perk here. First of all, your reaction, what you saw out of the Joker.
We don't appreciate him enough. Like, I mean, you're watching this game unfold. First of all, it was a great showing by the Wolves for the fourth quarter and the first 2 minutes of the overtime. And then the Joker gets activated. It just looks constantly too easy for him, right? I literally looked at my husband and I was like, man, this man don't even jump and he's killing these people. But he has such control over the game, both in terms of what he wants to do and the way that he shifts defenses. It's undeniable.
Big Perk, your thoughts?
That I was watching last night an all-time great in real time, that I watched the most skilled center to ever play the game of basketball, that I watched the top 3 center dance on one of the biggest stages in the NBA, and that was on a Christmas Day, against, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
He was going against a very good Minnesota team that's one of the best defensive teams in the game. They threw everything at him, including the kitchen sink. And when you think about how he got it done, you could run this big fella off of pin downs. You could run pick and roll action with him being the ball handler. He mixes it up with the finesse in the inside game when he plays daddy ball. When I'm watching Jokic, I'm saying to myself, how do you stop him? And then he showed that grit last night. He was passionate. He was showing emotions, something that we never see. And I just want to say I appreciate this man. I appreciate it. First team all whack body. I appreciate it.
I love playing daddy ball. By the way, it's the first time in a while that not only Jokic but Jamal Murray are healthy. Can Jokic and Murray get back to the finals, you think?
Hell yeah, they can. Especially if they're, now remind you, they won that game last night missing 2 key players in Cam Johnson and Aaron Gordon. Get those guys back, absolutely Jokic could get back to the NBA Finals in a tough Western Conference.
I mean, excuse me, I 100% agree with Perk. And I think, too, I think through the day, our teammates on the games were talking about this. We're just a third of the way through the season. And so there are still teams that are going to continue to grow, continue to get better. And for this group, whose core has championship experience together, like, that puts them in a separate class.
Rockets visiting LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. Both teams trying to avoid their first 3-game losing streak of the season. Rockets up 7. This is the first quarter in the Slim Reaper. KD.
Come on, man, the ageless wonder.
10, up 10 at this point. Still in the first quarter. Talking about the ageless wonder. How about LeBron?
I mean, this was good to see early. Maybe didn't hold throughout the course of the ball game. But
That cut it to 9. And then Durant again. Ooh, a little hezzy. Count that.
man, easy money sniper is the most appropriate social handle ever.
He had 16 in the first half. A couple of minutes later, Durant again doing what he does. Knocking down threes. And then Lakers down 17. Luka mid-range is no good. Rockets coming the other way, and you know what?
Come on, get up!
Amen. Amen. Thompson lays it in. The Rockets were just rolling heading into the fourth quarter. And watch here. James gets the ball stolen. Durant, Jabari Smith. I mean, this was just a Rockets masterclass. They win it 119-96. Never trailed in the game. Thompson led everyone with 26 points. James suffering the worst margin of defeat on Christmas in his career.
Stay around long enough, you're going to have some bad historic marks.
Well, the Lakers are 19-10 when they lose big. All 10 of their losses this season have come by double digits, and the average losses have come by over 18 points per game. Only the Wizards, Monica McNutt,
Not my Washington Wizards.
have the worst record in the NBA, suffering larger losses on average this season. JJ Redick was not happy after the game.
Why do you think your team was unable to execute the things that it was tasked with?
Because we don't care enough right now. And that's the part that bothers you a lot. We don't care enough to like do the things that are necessary. We don't care enough to be a professional. It's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. And so Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
Wow. Listen, earlier this week, he called them out for their defensive lackluster effort. Give me your thoughts, Big Perk, what you heard out of J.J. Redick.
It's always somebody else's fault. It's never J.J. Redick's fault. It's never, and look, I watched the game last night. Did I see LeBron James pouting all game long? Did I see the bad body language from LeBron? Absolutely. Did I see him not putting forth the defensive effort and getting back in transition, only having 2 rebounds last night in the game when you know a team loves to pound the glass and grab offensive rebounds? Did I see your best player, your franchise player, Luka Doncic, complaining after every single call? You damn right I did. But JJ, why don't they care? Why are they not playing hard? Why are they not trying to compete on the defensive side of things? You're the coach. That's a reflection of you. When your team is not responding and going out there and competing at a high level defensively and playing hard, that's saying that they're not listening or that they somewhat lack respect for you. So it's got to be a level of accountability all across the board. I understand. Listen, J.J. Redick, he had a pretty damn good season last year. But let's not act like he went to the conference finals. Let's not act like he won the NBA championship. It's some things that he needs to work on, and also, if he's going into that meeting and practice on Saturday, he needs to be addressing the best 2 players on the team, and that's LeBron James and Luka Doncic, for their lack of effort, lack of inconsistency, and lack of leadership that they're displaying right now.
I'm kind of scratching my head, Monica, about this team because, obviously LeBron didn't start the season off with them, and they were rolling off wins left and right, and everybody's like, oh, look at the Lakers. And then all of a sudden, things just flipped. How much did J.J. Redick deserve blame here?
I mean, he's in it. Those are your guys. That's your team. You are the leader. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you got to take responsibility. I don't think that he's not willing to take responsibility, though. I think about the conversations when JJ was still our colleague. I think about the podcast a little bit. And he was a guy that played in the league for 15 years as a specialist. And so I think there's a way that he sees it that, to Perk's point, is not necessarily connecting with his stars. But the other thing, too, that I think, BC, we got to be honest about, the league is getting younger and younger and younger. And I get it. LeBron James is one of one. Luka Doncic, MVP candidate, all of that good stuff.
Right.
But the way that Houston plays, the way that OKC plays, the way that the Spurs are playing, the teams that you're chasing in the West, like, The other teams are now in a position to expose in a big-time way, in my mind, the areas that the Lakers come up short in. Now, I agree. Everybody has to be looked at when it comes to this Lakers organization, but the reality of it to me is that the league is changing over, and right now they're just not built to continue to keep up.
Perk, I see you percolating.
I get that, Monica, but at the same time, both of these teams the Rockets and the Lakers both walked into this Christmas Day game struggling. The Rockets had lost their last two. They were struggling to find their identity. And I'm not saying you're gonna listen. I'm not saying you're gonna win every single game in the NBA. But this is about the 5th or 6th time this season that JJ has come out publicly calling his team out about the little things and the lack of effort. That is disturbing. That is frustrating. And why I say JJ has to hold himself accountable, because there's only so many times throughout the course of the season that a head coach can continue to call out his team. We have never seen JJ Redick come to the podium and say, But
let me jump in, though, because you live this. What's the disconnect then? Like, what do you perceive as the disconnect? Because we all know JJ knows ball, right? We all know LeBron and Luka are great. What is the disconnect? Because from where I'm sitting, it is like a lack of effort. Is that an oversimplification?
No, but what I'm saying, the disconnect got to be that he doesn't have the ears of that locker room. Because if he did, then we wouldn't be having these conversations, right? I always look at a team that play with effort, that play hard defensively. Even though we know that they're lacking the personnel, they still not putting forth the effort.